Hello, hello, everybody. How are you doing? Gosh, day 45 already, halfway through our 90-day leadership and duplication challenge. And today we're talking about systems. And, systems is really the core of all business. And the more and more I've been doing network marketing, the more and more I realize that when I compare back to my print shop, I really couldn't figure things out. Like, when I started our business when I was just 25 years old. I look back and I think how much I did not know. But I think I finally figured things out when I actually did a flow chart of all the things that happen with a job when it goes through our business. And that was so powerful. I mean, it's so obvious you need to have this before you can do that to and so forth, right? But when you outline it, when you put it all into a whole outline, it really is so powerful and helpful. You really get it to a whole nother degree and understanding. And so I like to think about, around promotions and everything, it is all based on systems. When you're doing getting to core rank, it's all based on systems. When you're onboarding a new person, it's all based on systems. And what systems do you have? Like, just sit here and think about it. You've been doing um, doTERRA for a while now. And so when you think about what has had you be successful, what do you do day in and day out with that prospecting? What do you do day in and day out with onboarding a new leader? What are the systems that you have in place that has you be successful? And and on the other side of that, what should you put systems in place because you're not successful at something? And I could see some of my leaders, and I compare different leaders all over the world, who is doing systems and how it's working, and who is just being sloppy about it. And I have to admit, I've been doing things sloppy on some areas, and I have systems that work really well in other areas. The goal is being consistent as well, like having those habits and stuff. And I've talked about habit forming in the past. It's really super important. So I'm going to look at my notes here. And when we're talking about a system, don't treat it like a project. And what do I mean by that? Well, sometimes you just go through and do a task and it feels like a task. It just feels like a project and you're not really getting anywhere with it. Um, and that kind of comes across to everybody else too. You're kind of bored with it already. You want to create a system that's going to always have a lot of energy and challenge around it. So when we talk about like this 90-day challenge, for example, is a challenge in itself to help you keep polishing your skill set, to help you keep becoming better at what you're doing. And and it's been profound for me. I've learned so much and I've done so many different things with these challenges that it's been really successful. One of the first systems that I put in place by doing the 90-day challenge is recreating every video that I learn so that I can not only learn it in a deeper level, but also empower my downline to learn it as well. So I'm not just keeping it secret inside of myself, but I'm sharing it with other people. And so um, here's an example of a system. I'll go ahead and bring up my slide here. Turn this off. Here's an example of what's important when it comes to systems. First, you want to make a decision. So, what is the system all around? So, maybe it's an event. So, you make a decision. I'm going to have an event. I just toured India, so I made a decision. I'm going to do a tour. Then I had to go through and figure out all the details, all the plans, all the locations, who's involved, who's not involved, blah, 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 right? Then I had to make a public declaration. And when you're doing that, that is part of the system. I had to advertise, go through and figure out a name for it so that I could have slogans. What are the challenges around it? Challenges such as how many enrollments? How is the follow up system with that? What is the lead system that we created? So I came up with a, a link with every location so that people had to sign up with those locations. I created I had to find the hotels. I had to find an enrollment promotion. I created certificates to give awards out at each event. We really wanted to have fun and do something around that tour that really baked in the culture of that doTERRA is a great company to be with. Um, then there's the post action, like again, follow up systems. Um, Really encouraged all the leaders to do follow ups, made sure that they all got copies of the registration form so that people who were in charge of each location would do the follow up and or delegate follow up. And I could do have done something better there, really put a challenge to everybody that having a certain percentage of enrollments from that event. So if you had 25 people show up, if we did, what percentage of enrollments did you get from that event? So if you had 5 enrollments, would that be 20%? If you had 10 enrollments, would that be, so on, right? And do some prizes around that. That would be pretty cool. Um, and then what is the lead system that you have? So even a system for all those leads I gave you, did you guys um, put them in your email program? Did you put them in your WhatsApp program? Did you call them? Do you have them put in a system where you're going to follow up with them every month? What is your system around following up? And then what's next? You can invite them to come to the next program. So I encouraged all the leaders to do a post convention follow up tour and call everybody up who came from my tour and said, "Oh my gosh, we just got back from the convention. I wanted to ask you, what did you like about Becky's tour? Did you learn anything? Did you have any questions that I could help you with? And we're going to come again, and we're planning on coming to your town on this day, and we'd love to invite you to come. And if you bring 3 guests, we'll have something for you." There's lots of things you can do around it, but the whole goal is always having what's next, what's next, what's next, right? And in this post convention tour, there's a convention kit that they can buy, right? And then what is going to be next after this post convention tour? There's going to be maybe the holiday specials that are coming up, right? So maybe you could do some fun DIYs around the holidays and Christmas and making Christmas presents for people. So there's always what's next. So when you're done with an event or you're at the very end of it, then always advertise what is next. And that is so important. And I think that I failed on that aspect in this last tour um, because I was waiting for those specific informations from you guys. And so I'm hoping that you're seeing how whenever you put on an event that there's actually a system to put in place. And this is really powerful to be giving you this information right now so that way we're planning, doing, and reviewing and figuring out what we could do better next time, polishing it up and improving on it every single time. I really was so super proud of my India team in the Nagaland area or the Northeast area, where each leader took on a certain city. Maybe some cities had overlapping leaders. That's even more powerful. But like Moa took on Tucson, Rongson took on Hmong Village. And so everybody had like a certain area. Sagar took on Assam area. Aruna took on Arunachal Pradesh. I'm not saying that right. Dr. Sendru took on Oswald. And so we have all these amazing leaders who have like their role in that specific area. And I would really love to challenge you to really ramp up and take charge of that particular area and engage in those people in that area to do ongoing more classes. And so the system, what would the system be? Are you going to have like a monthly class on the second Thursday of each month or something like that, right? Put a system into place. What is the outline of the class? Are you going to talk about the product of the month? You're going to talk about the discounted product, maybe the other promotions that are going on. You're going to talk about having leaders, each person come up and sharing each individual thing, having testimonies, um, maybe do an introduction class so that way new guests can come and they feel welcomed. Have people get prizes. So do door prizes, that kind of stuff. Do a DIY maybe. And so having an outline and delegating each new person so that they feel valued and appreciated, do that section. So, when we talk about the energy empire, there's always this ongoing pipes program process, right? And this pipes is a system in itself. You're prospecting, but you know, when we talk about pipes, we don't actually specifically tell you how to come up with a system for your prospecting. I think each person kind of has to do what works best for them, and that's what's kind of difficult here. So, what works best for me is spreadsheets. I love working on spreadsheets because I can sort by city, I can sort by name, I can sort by when I talked to them, how I found them, all that different stuff. And then I can when I followed up with them last. Um, there's so many different systems I use, one called Teamsy. I've shared that with you guys in the past. I've used an email blast program. All of these things are super powerful to be using, and um, it's so important to come up with your system. You want to maybe have your own Facebook page so that you can onboard people properly. Make sure they get the phone number to the office. Make sure that they're attached to the WhatsApp group. Make sure that they know the social media for the doTERRA India and doTERRA United States. Make sure you're doing all these things to stay in communication and keep those touch points ongoing all the time. So again, follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up. I can't say that enough. Um, I love this story about Wrongson talking about t- chasing this one person to come be part of DoTerra, and they were no, 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 no. I'm telling you, it's just a no for today because eventually this person said yes, and they're a powerful leader for Wrongson. He never quit on that person, so don't quit just because uh, they said no. And you can always be really super sweet about it. It's like, "Oh, I just understand you're a no today. There will be a day when you're gonna be reaching out to me where you wanna know some health concerns and how we can help you with that, and I'll always be here for you. How about I follow up with you in a couple months to see where you are?" And just be super nice about it, right? Then there's always the trainings. Again, like I just said, you're going to want to have ongoing monthly trainings as set in stone. Set in stone. You never want to give up on that. And then what are your daily method of operations? What are your systems you do every day to keep you in task, keep you in motion moving forward? So I hope this was helpful for you guys. And let me just review my notes here one more time, make sure I'm covering everything. No, I'm not. So, we want to talk more about campaigns and why campaigns are so important. Um, Creating campaigns around everything keeps that energy going. And sometimes, as a leader, we kind of get low on energy because it's like, oh, the same thing over and over and over again, right? And that people feel that. And it's really important to keep that excitement going. And so, like creating inside challenges on maybe teams that are lagging or not doing so well, create an inside challenge for them. Like 7 calls and 7 calls a day for 7 days, right? And just have everybody post in the leadership WhatsApp group all their conversations that they've been having and stuff like that. So create a challenge. So challenges are a way to keep you motivated and engaged as well. Um, so don't allow older conversations to drag you down. Um, when you do, the real answer there is that you have lost your way. The real answer is you lost your enthusiasm because you got bored. And so a leader never gets bored because a leader is someone who's always creating something, always moving forward with something. A leader, a behavior style of a leader is creative. You're going to be creative all the time. So get creative. And if your upline is not doing something, that's okay. You do something. It's your business and your team. And so the more creative you get, the more excitement you create, the more touch points you're having with your downline, the more success you will have. So, for example, in India, they just got the bubble diffuser. Wouldn't it be fun to have a campaign on all the different ways you can use a bubble diffuser? So, um, like, doing Facebook Lives, doing different conversations around this bubble diffuser, like maybe different areas you can put it in your home, and just having a lot of fun with it. Let's see a lot of photos in the WhatsApp group about the bubble diffuser, and just have a lot of fun with it. Something like that, okay? And so your energy is really what is creating what you're fighting for. And it's creating that momentum and creating it moving forward. Um, so, yeah, there's a lot of reasons why you can have campaigns. We have the holidays coming up. You could do Black Friday, Cyber Monday, New Year's Eve kickoff, tie it to a charity. You can tie it to a profession. So, like a nurse's day or a teacher's day, or build a system around every kind of challenge that you're going to have. And then you can still things that work from an older challenge and put it into a new challenge and just keep moving forward. So, I would love to hear some ideas about challenges. We've got in India, we have the challenge for the uh, sourcing uh, group in Sri Lanka for the cinnamon. And we have in the United States, I believe, the Diamond Club. We have the holiday promotions that are going on. And we also have the uh, Reveal or Revive Your Life campaigns that are going on as well. So these things are doTERRA made and they're really great to be using, but I'm challenging you to come up with your own challenge within your own business, and you could do your own little promotions. It could be like a free babysitting night, or you could come up with any price. Amazon India has some really fun and simple things. I know that those challenges, you don't need to wait for me to make those happen for you. So come up with them on your own too, and put a wow into your business. And let's make it happen, guys. I hope this was helpful. Give me a thumbs up on this, and let me know how things are going. We'll talk to you soon.